We're trying to fix it right now.
Okay.
You guys ready? Let's do it.
Council workshop meeting, Monday, April 6, 2026, 6 PM. Bear?
Here.
Briggs?
Here.
Coulter?
Here.
Heidrich?
Here.
Holtmeyer?
Here.
Patke?
Here.
Epsel?
Here.
Selenstrup. Please rise for Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All the committee members answer if they have or have not read the minutes of the meeting dated March 2nd, 2026. Bear?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Coulter?
Yes.
Heidrich?
Aye.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
Epsel?
Yes.
Selenstrup.
Yes.
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion by Bear, second by Coulter to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
It's approved.
Report of department heads, Administration Department, Fifth and Jefferson Street Collections.
At the traffic committee meeting last Friday, morning at 8, the committee discussed the use of the Fifth and Jefferson Street intersection as historically what has been done in the past to allow organizations to go ahead and collect money for charitable causes. In the past, we've talked, and Sherry's passed out a letter from that recommendation from the committee that she gave right to you before the council meeting. And it was noted that in there, we did have an individual that was struck back in 2023 collecting donations at the time. The concern's been, and then it just got raised recently due to the fact that our insurance requirements have gone up, and one organization reached out and wanted to know, they were asking some questions about our insurance, and in passing comment, they said, well, we wish kind of the city would just kind of do away with it anyway, which brought up the conversation. I asked to go ahead and put it back on the agenda for the traffic committee. I know that most of you, though, would probably get comments with regards to that. It's not something, but we wanted to just bring it up for discussion to see if the council had any comments on it. But we feel that there's probably other ways that they can go ahead and raise money for their charities. I'm not saying that this, but a typical night when we used to do it as a city for like United Way, like on a Friday evening, I think we would get like 2,200. And it's almost not worth the insurance coverage that we require from some of these groups to go ahead and do it. So, open for discussion, but that was the recommendation from the traffic committee this past Friday when they met here in the council chambers. So, open to
I'm really surprised that somebody hasn't gotten hurt sooner,
I am too.
and I think it's probably a good idea to do away with it completely. Because
Yeah.
it can happen again anytime.
Easily, yes.
I think it's something that's long overdue. I see it on a Saturday morning or something like that, and then you neglect to talk about it next Monday, but yeah, I'm the same way. Some people that stand there just, they can't get out of the way. And an average person, even an able-bodied person couldn't escape a vehicle traveling some of the speeds we see, so.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's something that needs to be.
Agree with, the fact that the insurance is going up and it's gonna cost them that much more, what,
Should do it.
is it worth standing out there
Yeah.
and doing that?
Do you need a
Agree with
motion?
the traffic committee, I think we should.
Do you need an ordinance or do you need a motion here?
I just think you need a motion in a second. It's just a policy.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Patke, second by Sully. Any further discussion about this, guys? It's pretty cut and dry. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous? Passes. Thank you.
Engineering Department, FAA Flight Check Agreement.
Good evening, council. As part of the runway extension project out at the airport, FAA will need to do a flight check and inspection before we open the runway up completely. This is an agreement with them to do that for a little over $23,000. It was included in the original grant for the project, so we'll get the same reimbursement as the project, which the city's portion is 5%. So a little over $1,000 will be the city share for this, so.
How's that project coming?
Good. They've gotten some more of the runway and taxiway paved, and hopefully with the good weather this week, they'll get a good portion of it finished up this week and next week, so.
Kind of confusing when you open the document and it says non-federal
Nah.
reimbursable agreement right on the top, really big.
Yeah, the agreement itself is not reimbursable, but it's part of the grant
Yeah,
and
once you
reimbursed,
read-
so it is very confusing.
Which one you reading that on?
It's gonna be good to get our runway back, you guys, because revenues have been down, touch and goes have been down. We need that extra.
Make a motion to send it on.
Second.
Motion by Holtmeyer, second by Bear to send it on to council. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
High Street Roadway and ADA Compliance Project, STBG 6400630.
So this is our grant project to redo High Street sidewalks, curb and gutter, and repave the asphalt from Fifth to Front Street. KJ Understall was the low bid at a little over 1.3 million. The estimate was around 1.5, and the budget was at a little over 1.5 million. So we're under budget with the low bid here, so we're recommending go with KJU.
Are any of the retaining walls on High Street affected by that?
We are trying to avoid having to redo any of them, so we'll try and stay away from them and do the best we can, is the idea.
Quite a
So,
few of them.
there are quite a few. Not in the best of shape, but most of them are kind of the property owners to maintain, so.
I mean, all the retaining walls are property owners to maintain. It's
Right.
not city property.
I'm not aware of one property along there where it was put up where the city had any involvement with it whatsoever.
Okay. It's nice to know ahead of time, the
Yeah.
project, because if we get up to it.
Yep.
Yeah, there was lots of
Good time to
questions
replace.
in the bidding process about the retaining walls and, you know, how they were gonna manage that, so.
Now, when you did Third Street, was there any issues with that? I'm just thinking there were a few of them along there that were
East Third?
disrupted a little bit.
We didn't run into too many. There was one that we had planned to redo that was falling over, and we got that in. But no, we didn't run into any that like fell during the project or
Really had
anything,
any
so.
Need a
Further
motion?
discussion, you guys? Take a motion to send
Make
it.
a motion.
Second.
Motion by Pepsel, second by Patke. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It passes.
Fire Department 2016 foam trailer purchase and budget amendment.
Good evening, council. In your packet, there is a letter outlining a opportunity that we have to purchase a foam trailer from Hayti Facilities Corporation, which is essentially Hayti Fire Department in that portion. They are looking to dispose of theirs. They have a 2016 National Foam trailer. I priced one new. It's $60,950 for a new one. And they're looking to sell theirs for $25,000, looking to take that out of the Spiller Pays Fund. Currently, the firefighting foam is changing with PFAS problems that Kevin's talked about. It also trickles down in the fire service. The foams that we used in the past are no longer usable from environmental perspective, and because of that, you have to put foam on about 150% faster, or you have to take 150% longer to do it. And there's no real resources in the area. Looking at what we have in the team track, a variety of industry, plus what's on the roadways and the above-ground storage facilities that we have down on Front Street Highway A, we don't have the foam capabilities that we need presently, so this would fill that gap. That Spiller Pays has been kind of eyeballing that. We've been kind of looking at that. This just turns out to be a really good opportunity.
$25,000.
25,000. 20,000 out of Spiller Pays and 5,000 out of the fire department operating budget. And then the foam, we're having the Franklin County Hazmat team is buying the first tote to foam. It's between 10 and 13,000.
Sounds like you got the money to cover it.
Yeah, so the Spiller Pays looks like it's got 26 right now? Is
Yes,
that
sir.
Correct?
Correct. we'd still have a little left over. We've taken a little bit out of spiller pays to buy various equipment, and that's one of the caveats of the spiller pays law is that it has to be used for hazmat type equipment. We can't buy just anything with it. It has to be hazmat related.
Where will it be housed?
Probably threes, in the shed of threes is probably where it's gonna go. Either there, it makes probably the most sense there because there's a tow vehicle there.
Tim, why do they want to get rid of it?
They're wanting to take the money and buy other equipment with it. So I happened to be down there teaching a class a while back and spotted the thing in their engine house and kind of oohed and awed over it. And so the guy reached out to me when they wanted to get rid of it and said, "Hey, you interested in it?" I'm like, "Yeah." "How much?" And so they sent us the original invoice. They bought it new for $30,000. So I'm like, "Yeah, let me see what I can do." So here we are.
I'll make a motion to send it on.
Motion by Briggs, second by Patke to send it on. Further discussion or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Thanks, Tim.
Weight training and fitness equipment purchases.
Thank you. In the packet also is a lot of information. This is to complete the workout room at the new fire station. This equipment is, we looked at Show Me weights down in Fenton. We were given a tip from a physical therapist that they recondition a lot of equipment. And so it was an opportunity, so the guys looked at it. So they're looking at a reconditioned treadmill, stair climber, which is new. When we try to get that stair climber is the highest piece of the whole puzzle, about $8,000. That piece of equipment, we couldn't get a comparable on it to get additional bids on, so we're looking to sole source that through them as well. But this would include two weight benches, 2 squat racks, treadmill, the stair climber, and a machine as well for a multi-cross fitness machine, as well as some dumbbells and kettlebells. So we had a committee put together that went through all this stuff to put together this list, and we're looking to buy this as part of the new engine house.
Is this equipment over and above what you already have?
Mm-hmm. Currently, our equipment, the one machine is, we have a treadmill, a bike, an elliptical, and free weights, some dumbbells, and a machine that is worn out. The cables are getting ready to snap on it. So that machine is, we were planning on leaving all of that at Station 4 and then move this stuff into the new building.
Do you require your guys to work out?
Not yet, but we're working on a plan to incentivize it. So we can't require it quite yet. Part of the reason, we have some guys that work out at 4s. This time of year, it's not bad, and in the wintertime, it's not bad. So we've had an increased use down at 4s in the winter. But in the summertime, that equipment's on the mezzanine out in the bay. So it gets ridiculously hot in there pretty quick. So the new one does have conditioned space for the equipment.
Did you look at leasing any of the bigger equipment?
Didn't look at it because we were able to get it reconditioned, so it was gonna be cheaper than trying to do that. So we were looking at the best way to do that. So about a third of what we're looking at has been reconditioned. That's the beauty of Show Me Weights. They buy equipment from Physical Fitness and other places that are lower impact use on it. It's not like they're buying it from Planet Fitness and reusing that equipment. They're buying equipment that's been a little less abused, but it's in good shape.
What do you think the percentage of your guys are going to use this?
Right now, with the turnover in people, probably close to 50%, because our young guys that are active Air Mass qualified guys, they're down there quite often. The fire on Pottery Road, those guys are actually out on a run from Station 4. They had to run back from 6th and Lincoln to catch a truck. So they were actually down there working out when that call came in. The last time I was at 4s, I caught a call down there as well.
But Chief, it actually makes sense. The more the fighters are in the house, the more ready, available they are. So rather than encourage them to work out somewhere else, they're there,
That's right.
ready to go. It makes
The
a
other
big
piece of it
difference.
is when you look at the fire service, our number one killer is cardiac and stroke, number 2 is cancer. So we've been addressing that cancer wherever we can, from contamination, smoke, all of that. And the next piece of it is making sure guys stay physically fit and ready to go. When we had the fire across the street, there was one injury, and that was a strain from pulling, so those are things that they're looking at. They're wanting to basically be stronger and more fit. So we have a group of guys that are 25 and under that have been pretty diligent about working out and staying in shape.
I make a motion to send it on.
Second.
Motion by Briggs, second by Coulter to send it on. Further questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Thank you,
Thank you.
Tim.
Parks Department Grounds Maintenance Services bid.
Good evening. So in your packet, you have a letter for grounds maintenance services. Our most recent mowing contract with Clee Camp expired last fall. We do realize that we have to do in-house mowing. We know that's necessary, but we also feel like a contracted mowing service also provides us some critical support during peak times. We currently mow 140 acres per week, and well, approximately. This contract will also provide an additional 39 to 40 acres per week. We also want to note that a full-time person was eliminated and replaced for the previous, with the previous mowing contract. And we feel like this is something that's been efficient for the city, and for our parks and for our properties, over this time. We typically utilize one person to do mowing, where a crew that we contract will bring in 2 to 3 people to do that mowing for us in a shorter amount of time, so that helps us as well. Also, since transitioning to a contracted service provider, we really have had no complaints. People have told us how great the parks look, not only from our crew, but also from the crews that we've worked with. So we do have a combined operating budget with both Parks and Fire for $75,000, $65,000 from Parks and $10,000 from Fire. When we put this out to bid, we covered a contracted term of 2026 to 2028 with an extension for 2 more years. We did receive 5 bids back, and you'll find that in your packet as well. We would like to recommend that we use Hoffman Hillerman Nursery and Florist. Their bid came in at $50,245. It does represent the lowest bid that we received. We had a chance to talk with them as well, and we seem to have no issues with them taking that contract. Their base bid is also almost $9,000 less than the previous contract that we had from 23 to 25. So additionally, with that, we would like to recommend some alternatives that we put in that bid that would keep us under budget at $65,195. We would add 11 acres to the previous contract and still keep us in that price range. And that would be First Parkway Median, Third Parkway Median, 101 Kingsland Drive, Burger North, the Flood Buyout Area 1, and Bush Creek Trail East South Point. We also wanted to let you know that we have not yet talked to the residents of First Parkway, but we will do that, and we think that they will be happy with the contract as well. And there will be a change order for the new firehouse once we get that grass planted.
The First Parkway median, as some of you, especially Ward 1, knows that I think historically they've wanted to cut that grass themselves, and they all do it like in front of their house. However, I will tell you that in the past few years, we've had at least 1, possibly 2, where they've had problems where they cannot go ahead and do it anymore. So what we did at the time, Wayne was here, I just told him, I said, well, find out what Clay Camp would charge you to go ahead and go up there and cut it, and they went ahead and did it. So,
They were already doing Riverview over there too, right? That's why we
yes,
asked them. Yeah,
exactly.
They were there already.
They're there, that's right. So, Third Parkway as well,
Where's 1 and 2?
1 and 2.
The flood buyout.
It's the buyout down on 9th Street. So the
If you scroll down.
flood buyout 1 is right next to Optimus Park, and that homeowner no longer cuts it. There was an agreement we had a couple of years ago with the homeowner, but they sold that house there. And flood buyout 2 is the big area along 9th Street, but the homeowners still mow that right now. So, and there's no complaints with that.
So you're just recommending the flood buyout area 1, which is,
Well, just one.
okay.
Yeah.
What was our current contract amount? I'm assuming,
It was like
Less than?
61,000, something like that.
so Hillerman actually came in less than what we're paying currently.
Yes.
with Quick Camp.
The one thing
We found
about-
this on both of these bids, this one and the next item on your agenda.
Yeah, the one thing about them is they are local, and so other companies that come from Chesterfield or somewhere else, I mean, with gas prices right now, that's gas, that's time, that Hillerman, they're closer, and that's one of the reasons why their bid came in a little bit lower too. They also cut in those general areas too, so they're already in those areas.
You hear rumors in town all the time, and one of the rumors I hear is they're gonna be giving up cutting grass. And if that happens, is this a guaranteed contract?
Yeah, I mean, they're signing a contract for 3 years with optional years. We sat down with Hillerman's after we got all the bids and discussed, you know, just make sure that everything was good with them and they're fine. It doesn't act like they're planning on getting rid of any of the grass cutting. I heard the same rumors, but that isn't what they said when we talked to them.
Make motion, moving on.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Holtmeyer, second by Solid Trup to move it on. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
5-100 medians maintenance services bid.
So sticking with the same general theme, in December of '22, we went out to bid for Highway 100 medians maintenance services contract, and we are up with that one as well. Funding for that is provided through the Stormwater Fund, as the native plants in the median help absorb water in an otherwise all asphalt environment. And then by reducing stormwater runoff, these beds support the city's MS4 program compliance, making the use of local local tax funds from the Stormwater Fund. We did go out to bid recently. We received 3 submissions. One of them was an incomplete submission, so we didn't have everything included in the packet. The lowest responsive bid was submitted by Go Green, who is our current contractor that we use. We have had no issues with them throughout the years. Their bid came in at $24,500 for 2026, $26,250 for 2027, and $28,000 for 2028. Our second bid was from MACC Contracting. The incomplete bid was from Hillerman, Hoffman Hillerman. So our recommendation is that we do go with Go Green and the amount of the $24,500 for 2026. And I'm happy to answer any questions about that.
Lori, Chad, what's the current bid that we have with Go Green this past year? I'm sorry, did I miss that somewhere?
I think it was 29,000. I don't have that.
I think it was too, but I don't have it in front of me.
This is cheaper all the way through the rest of the contract than what we paid last year.
I think since the stuff has gotten under control within the last 3 years based on a contract, it's why it's getting easier for them to go ahead and do the maintenance on it.
I normally don't pay any attention to what they're doing out there when I'm driving by, but what is this gonna consist of? Mulch, trimming, weeding?
Yeah, weeding, picking up trash, that's what that all involves. Yeah, the trimming of everything, they'll cut it down in October. They'll remulch everything in the spring, and then put pre-emergent down and make sure all the weeds are pulled out. And if we have any issues in plants that need to be replaced, they'll replace all that.
I'm always paying attention to the road.
Right.
Well, that's a good idea. Very good idea.
I haven't noticed, it's tall, we need
Perhaps we
Everyone
could
in
get
the room
some
knows who's
fireproof
lying
mulch.
now.
Less fires.
Yeah, they need to put fireproof mulch down.
All right, do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Motion by Solid Trup, second by Bear. Further questions or discussion? No jokes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Street Department vacuum excavator trailer purchase.
No.
Good evening, council. We spoke about this at the last council meeting. Keep in mind, this was not something we budgeted for, but we did see a need for it. We did have some money left over in our equipment account from some other purchases we had earlier in the budget year. So we did find this one. It is in stock, and if everything goes good, we hope to have it, if not by the end of the week, early next week. We will use it mainly for looking up utilities, not only for Front Street projects or digging projects, but also for our sign operations. With all these new subdivisions going in and all the utilities getting buried now along the road, it's impossible to just go stick signs in the ground anymore, so.
And you say you had it,
Okay.
you have money in your budget left over to cover it? Or are you
Yep.
short?
Yep, we had, I think, 95,000 left over in our budget.
For safety's sake, I think it's well worth it.
Yeah, it's a great tool, no doubt, and we talked about this last meeting, Tony, and yeah, you're right. Even putting a sign in the ground, as simple as that, if you don't have to locate, and you don't have to wait, it all makes a difference.
Even when we've had locates, you can have gas, electric, and the phone all in one area this wide, and then you're off private property. It's impossible to
But if
try
you
to-
do hit them, it's gonna be your fault, because they're gonna say they marked it somewhere else, it happens.
And they give you, what is it, a 2-foot variance on each
Right.
side for air?
Yeah.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Sullentrup, second by Patke to move it on. Further discussion, questions?
Thank you.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It passes.
Water wastewater department, laser flow meters purchase.
No.
He kept walking.
Good evening, council. These laser flow meters are going to be replacing our 4 current mag meters. They're magnetic meters that are in the plant. All 4 of them have become obsolete. They've been there since the plant was built. They were through part of the value engineering of the plant, so they weren't installed correctly, well, it's hard to say correctly, as they should have been designed for a mag meter, so they've never worked correctly. However, besides that, they're just another device that will go out in another 10 years that we have to replace again. So we opted to go with these laser levels flow meters. They mount above the flow channel of the influent tank, or influent lines, and they won't touch any sewage, so they'll last a lot longer, easier to deal with and work with, so.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Hydrich, second by Pepsel. Further questions or discussion?
I'll just have one quick one about the treatment plant, Kevin. I got a call on my neighbor's house, was up for sale, and a person contacted me, and they'd asked me about the stink smell down at the treatment plant. And I told them, I said, well, it's a lot better than it used to be, and I think they're working on it continuously. Is that true?
That is true, and during the winter, we have to shut down our air scrubber because it freezes, so we have to shut it down, so it's back online, so we should notice a drop in the odor, but we're always gonna have odor. We went to what we call flow matching at the treatment plant, just like we're flow matching down on Front Street, which we have seemed to eliminate the odor down there. So we're doing the same thing at the treatment plant, but yes, we continue to work on odor 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's just what it is, but, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we got a
Second.
motion on the,
Second.
on the floor.
Second by Sullentrup.
Yeah, second by Sullentrup, first by Hydrich. Further questions or discussion?
No, I'm sorry, I've got first by Hydrich and then second by Tim.
Yep.
Right. So he just asked the question
I already
after.
have it.
Oh,
Gotcha.
We already had this.
Okay.
speak up.
He did. He did.
No.
All right. Any further discussion about this? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? It passes.
Well, number 9, well electrical control panel replacement bid.
Yes, this is a continuing of our control panels that we're replacing in all the well buildings. We're replacing all of them to state-of-the-art control panels. This will be our 6th one. We have 3 more to go after this, but this takes everything and brings it into the current standards of electrical controls rather than the old 1960, 70, 80 controls process where parts are becoming obsolete for those too. So this is just another continuation of that. Every year we budget them, got 3 more to go, and we'll be back to where we'll have good controls, and all the controls will be the same. Every well building's identical, so if we need parts, we stock one part, it'll fit and working every control panel, so.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Hodges, second by Sullentrup. Any further discussion or questions of Kevin? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thanks, Kevin. Passes.
You wanna go into executive?
Well, any other, if you all don't have any other questions of department heads, we do have an executive session item that we need to discuss prior to council.
Executive session, public vote on whether or not to hold a closed meeting to discuss personnel, legal, or real estate matters pursuant to section 610.021 RSMO 2000. Bear?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Coulter?
Yes.
Heidrich?
Aye.
Altmeyer?
Aye.
Petke?
Yes.
Capsule?
Yes?
Sullentrup?
Speak up.
Yes.
Your vote
Yes.
in executive session.